Good evening, ladies and germs, and all the shits at sea. I'm gonna do a little variance on the wrestling historian today. First of all, thank you, everyone, for joining us here today at HIAC Talk Radio. As you can tell by the incredible graphics, we're spending we spare no expense on making these incredible graphics that you see before you, CGI.
I'm certainly not getting paid.
that, uh, I'm gonna waive my salary just for this segment right here.
Double zero is still zero.
Sometimes the road seems so long. Baby, gotta keep my heat on. And at the end.
Oh yeah, you couldn't touch him, anybody, and you couldn't touch him, and especially not in his prime. I've always said, the stunning Steve Austin is my favorite Steve Austin. The one with the Just Win baby tights, the short hair.
I understand how you mean that. A lot of people won't get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
but he saw Bobby Eaton as a guy he couldn't carry his jock. He saw Bobby Eaton and you have to remember how Steve Austin's
And why
roots-
would you?
yeah.
Just disgusting. It's weird. I played baseball. I was told I can't play basketball because of my size, so I never tried.
Okay.
Except for out front.
Mhm.
And people hated me because I was always a contact. It's not a contact sport. I'm like, it is a contact sport.
Yes, it
You're
is.
a pussy.
And anyone who's ever played basketball for more than 5 minutes out anywhere especially in the background or about playground, it's a contact sport.
Ironically, the only one of our friends that actually played for the high school basketball team
Yeah.
never complained because he knows it's a contact sport. He'd be
Right.
off the side where everybody's yelling at me. He'd be like, which goes back to the story that I like telling is my little mom also played for the high school basketball team, and she was at the same high school. And
Really?
she got challenged by a friend of hers out front against her house once. The net and the hoop were above the garage, and she went up for a layup. This guy tried to block her, and she was like, "No!" And she forced her way in, got the layup, and all the way down because of their weight, took him into the garage door and slid open against his stomach, slid open against the door handle.
Ow.
But not a contact sport.
No. I can with in
Don't touch me!
in my youth, we didn't have a goal so much as you. We got an old tire iron, the frame of an old tire,
Yeah, okay.
and
yeah.
we wedged it into the porch of my back door neighbor Anthony. He was across the
Oh,
we
wow.
all shared one long cement concrete that I used to skateboard, ride bicycles down, play dodgeball and street hockey, everything. So and this is in short shorts and tube socks, so no protection, no helmets, no pads, nothing like that. So the little tire iron we used to play basketball, we just had it wedged in the porch in between the gate and the porch. So balls would go in, and every once in a while it would come down. So this one time, ball hit the rim, and I went up looking for the rebound, and the tire frame iron came right down on the bridge of my nose.
Oh!
And I screamed so loud. My mother, who was on the other side, this is in the back of the house. My mother's on the other side in the front of the house talking to the neighbor, and she heard me scream.
Her Bobby sense was tickling. Oh, I heard that.
Yep. No, the entire neighborhood heard.
VOCNation.com. If you go on your smartphone, go to your podcast app, go to Spotify, type in VOC Nation Radio Network to find all the podcasts. Watch it live, if you're not already, on twitch.tv/download83, or watch it later in edited form at youtube.com/download83 for Craig Lagans. I almost forgot to do it. For Craig Lagans, I'm the above average comedian. Blah, 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 Dan Chico. That's
Easy for you to say.
Hey. You should get that mask and go,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not saying he is.
But I noticed something.
I noticed, yeah, but he defended Stucca. Yeah, because he's making him money.
Yeah, and for many promoters,
Same difference.
bookers in the South that had a problem with black wrestlers, they didn't have a problem with making money.
Nope.
I told you the Sputnik Monroe story
Yes, you did.
about how he,
Mopery.
yeah, but tons of black fans wanted to come and see him, and while the crow's nest was packed, but the arenas were half full.
I cannot believe they called that the crow's nest for that.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, you're like, well, of course that's why it's called the crow's nest, but it never occurred to me.
Yeah.
We're just going to call it the mezzanine level from now on.
Yeah. But how promoters said, hey, well, if we can get all those people, not those people, but everyone down to where the
What do you mean those people?
crowd is. What do you mean, you people? But yeah, they just saw money. I mean, if everyone's paying to see this person, what different? I mean, the end. Ernie always said the only color that mattered to promoters was green.
Green. Yeah.
I came in 6'9", 320-pound menacing black man. I didn't throw my weight around. I didn't try to intimidate anyone. I was trying to make my way in the business, and I drew heat for whatever reason. If it's the color of my skin, great. If it's because I talk good on the microphone or because I put down the baby face, great. But I saw how the wrestling game worked. He said just coming into to football, and I knew I could capitalize on it, both in the ring. Sold like he had been shot, and he went down, and Ox kept hitting him while Ernie was down and hitting his lifeless body, and Ernie would just convulse every time he got hit, and the fans started coming closer to the ring,
That's a sell,
and
baby.
to the point where they were. And Jim Cornette told the story because he asked, that's one of the first things he asked Ernie Ladd when he met him about the Cleveland riot. And Ox kept saying, a little more heat. A little more heat. And Ernie, while being down on the canvas, looked up to him and said, Ox, the natives are getting restless. And Chair came in the ring. A fan came in the ring. More fans came in the ring, and Ox Baker and Johnny Powers had to run for their lives. And Ox Baker got crunched over the head with a chair so hard that he had a crease in his head, a permanent crease that was in his head, and he had for the rest of the match. I could be entertained by a heel and a babyface having an athletic contest with one comes out the winner. That entertains me. I don't need to have light fixtures falling on me or have someone throw up black goo.
Sure.
Or have lights look up and lights fall on you, and it was supposed to be a wrestling match between Randy Orton and a 4'11" porcelain doll.
Listen, my mom's 4'11". She kicked my ass.
I'm sure, and I would have loved to have seen. I would have rather seen Randy Orton versus your mom in that match than that. But that's what makes it such an embarrassment. And so to anyone, and the people that are listening and our faithful HIAC Talk Radio fans, I'm sure that some of you or all of you thought that was great or liked it.
No, they're probably on your side. No, they're probably nobody tunes into the show for me. They're tuning in for you, so they're probably going, shut up.
We're gonna start it right away. Hold on.
Away, yeah. Called him on the spot. My fault.
No, that's okay.
Keep Amber waiting. Go ahead, go.
Gentlemen and ladies, welcome back to this edition of HIAC Talk Radio. Please don't mind the suit, yes?
I just want to read to you J-Rod's comment where he just says, I'm just here for the cat.
So it's great. It's one of the few things going right in 2021. You know, like it really. I'm just very happy.
I was gonna say I couldn't watch it live. I was trying to put something together, but everybody, the world's crazy. Yeah. But nothing made me happier wrestling wise than in the midst of all of this the last year and things that still go on to see that trend the night it was premiering and stay there for a while.
It felt like the first show did in such a tiny, watered down way.
Yeah.
But I also had to remind myself that when we had our show at DC Brow, we were still live streaming. Like some of our most ardent supporters are people who were not able to be there in person at the last show. So this was a really similar experience for them, and being able to feel that side of things after having done Butch versus Gore only IRL was it was pretty sublime. It was great.
I did want to just real quick, a funny story to everybody who's watching. The reason why I knew Lolo wasn't coming on the show last week is because they posted a picture. This is, well, I forget the wording, but it was akin to, "This is my spot away from everybody for the next week." And I immediately said out loud, "Lolo's not coming on the show this week." Hey, Lolo!
I got a getaway cabin for 3 days, and seriously, I just like went on brain sabbatical and turned up. I hate the like unplug, relax, unwind culture that exists in like the hashtag self-care shit. But yeah, I'm definitely someone who really needs to be alone with my thoughts in long stretches, and very, very, very rarely is. And that causes, you know, a lot of problems and in terms of like self-improvement and shit. So it was great.
Every now and then you just gotta get away. Go ahead, Craig.
Just have to get away. It was just nice to like play my Nintendo Switch next to a fire.
I just want to say, for the live audience, Lolo taught me more about crowd control in 2 years.
You've seen the City Paper article about me as a bouncer, right?
Yeah. But I just want to let you know that I put that to good use at that. Where was that show we did in January at the other building?
At the when you had to deal with the fucking.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And they're all giving me shit the entire time, and this one dude, like Jenny, turns and goes, "Who's that?" And there's just random dude sitting in the goddamn bleachers, and I was like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm just here to see the show." I'm like, "Okay, are you related to any wrestlers?" "No." I was like, "Get out. Let's go have a chat in the hallway." I said the words to him. "Let's go talk about it in the hallway." And once it's out in the hallway, and he was like, "Well, she's sitting there." I'm like, "Yeah, but she's one of the girlfriends. You're not. Go wait in line. Go, have a nice day. We'll see you in a little while. Sorry about that, pal. I'll see you in about 10 minutes.
God, that was such a funny everything.
Oh, so
the cops are so terrible and annoying, and like they were just like such helpless little babies. They were just like little soft tiny babies. Like, so what should we do about this thing? And I'd be like, I don't know, you're a fucking cop. Like,
tell them to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. How about that? Start there. Oh, that first show, Wheels, there was the there's this guy, and I'll reveal it now, not that he's ever going to see this. There was a guy bitching about that the first show, the food truck didn't get there.
Oh, wow.
And the food truck didn't get there because the food truck was in a fucking car accident.
Good excuse.
A bad accident. They were not making the show. This
Right.
guy was on Twitter bitching about it for like an hour to prime time, to anybody who would listen. And the word he used, which we were all laughing about at the show, I was showing everybody, I was showing Lolo and Gator the tweets, was like, Gator tweeted from the show, you know, there was a car accident, they're not going to be here. And he replied was, "Well, that's suboptimal."
What?
That's suboptimal. Suboptimal.
So it's below optimal.
Yes, suboptimal, dickhead. So a friend of mine from a different Twitter account went head to head with him a couple times, to the point where he blocked me and then talked about me for 3 days after because it bothered him so much. What was making me laugh is the entire time he's bitching about it, there is a chicken place attached to DC Brow you walked up the fucking stairs to and got fried, baked, or crispy chicken.
Oh, jeez.
The same price you'd pay for a food truck.
For a food truck.
Attached to the fucking building, and he was so mad that the fucking food truck wasn't there that he never saw it.
Blinded by rage.
Blinded by rage that he couldn't eat. That's a hell of a word for that situation. That's what suboptimal. I wish I could find the guy's tweets. I cared that very little for him. I can't remember the screen name, but I did. I will admit, the word suboptimal lives rent free in my head because every time I think of something bad, I'm like, that motherfucker, they had a fucking car accident, you jerk off. And that's what I replied to. I said, they were in a car accident. That's a good one. Thank you, Oprah. Past all that crap that we debate about, how is it that this man still loses on a constant basis when he's a fucking ghost? He's a supernatural entity. He is now the Undertaker, and he still can't beat Randy Orton. But someone please explain to me how you take something that you're presenting as a monster and he constantly loses. I don't want to hear storyline. I don't want to hear any more excuses. Why does that still happen?
It's lazy booking. Because why would you have this monster, this invincible monster, who no sells getting DDT'd on an announcer table and backdropped on or ran into the steps, but he can't kick out of an RKO? That's too devastating. I mean, getting DDT'd on the table or getting backdropped off for the giant Jack in the Box and everything else. But RKO, no, I can't kick out of that.
Now, look up Trish Adora on YouTube, find her matches, and you get back to me. And if you have anything negative to say, I'm not worried about it because that's not going to happen.
I mean, they can be asleep if they want to. They just miss
Oh,
out.
sure.
I am not in the business of hipping people anymore. If you don't know what we're doing, and if you don't know what these dope people are doing, then it's not for you. You just got to miss out. Not everybody got Coke Black when it first came out in 2009, but now we got Coke Coffee, and people got it because they missed out the first time. You have to wait 10 years to go get it again. So if you want to miss out on Trish, feel free. In 10 years, when she's in the E and she's a multi-time champion, you're going to get her merch. It's all crazy. I'm not in the business of hitting people anymore.
I mean, I am. I'll tell them they're crazy. And booking and how you can screw that up, that one makes no sense to me. Everything is gifted to you on a silver platter. Samoa Joe could do it all, and you couldn't find something for him is blowing my mind. And how he's gone and other people aren't. Chris, correct me. I know it's coming.
I'm not going to correct you on Samoa Joe, but okay. I'm going to kind of go in reverse order to kind of like Craig did. But,
please do, yeah.
Yeah. Your point about Velveteen Dream and others like that. Yeah, there's probably a legal thing. It's probably an HR rep saying, "Oh no, not yet, not yet." I mean, that is prime for quietly run out the contract.
Gotcha.
Want to get right down to it? Just let the contract run out. Let's go. And then we just don't renew the contract. It's all fine.
That he asked to be gone. So I don't understand. But loyalty in wrestling gives you nothing. Look at us Chris, look at us in 2013 when we were running with the one company and didn't cut them aside, just started also running with the other company and being involved with that company and doing things in the office with that company and doing things on camera with that company and helping run the shows, running the camera, running the commentary table. What happened with that other company? This is on a primitive level, not even Richter scale registering in the WWE landscape. I understand that. I'm just saying at a very basic level, loyalty in wrestling doesn't get you anything anymore.
Said when wrestling was real to them, damn it. And it was. So much so that when Ron Wright was in a very damaging car accident, he was supposed to be in a main event at Mid-South Coliseum. When they announced that Ron Wright had been in a serious car wreck, the fans cheered. That's heat, folks.
That's
doing
it right. Yeah.
That'll kick you off Twitter these days.
Yeah.
What?
Wow. How dare you? Clutch pearls. But he was